Well, welcome to the Nomads Taste, number 4. I just uploaded my third one. Now I'm gonna keep my promise. I'm gonna talk to you all about, or add to the mix. We'll add to the mix that's already been mixed, the morphogenetic field. I got this from listening to Terence McKenna, and when Terence McKenna was really influenced by Sheldrake, Rupert Sheldrake. He really loved Rupert, and it's a beautiful concept because it outlines just how little we know about the mind and how the mind works. How we come up with ideas, how not necessarily like they've been telling us that the mind is in the brain, and there is really no evidence. They've been looking forever to find, maybe when you get this message they'll have found that it is in the brain. But I imagine that'll be like DNA, you know, like obviously there's a material representation of what's going on another level. Sorry, so many things come to my, so many ideas come to me when I was talking about this. I gotta like filter them, not laugh about them too much. Yeah, so morphogenetic field, it's got a long history. I'll just give you my, like, I'll just blow you up with my idea of it. We don't want to get too technical at this stage. Not when we're driving along. We can't even Google. So this is really just a chat, you know. So the field is basically a way to define phenomena that are prevalent in biology. Now, what they did was they couldn't explain why a mushroom. There's a particular mushroom that has only one cell. Not the magic sword. There's a particular mushroom. It only has one cell, and if they can replicate the mushroom by just cutting the mushroom, and it asexually reproduces and develops a whole new body based on, even though you don't cut out the nucleus of the mushroom. So the nucleus in genetics, like hard materialism genetics, which has since been sort of thrown out. No geneticist to this day is a full materialism scientist, because you can't explain. Well, there's something you can't explain. I can't remember what it exactly is. There's a particular phenomenon you can't explain. I think it's to do with antiquity. There's a particular problem inexplicable by genes, and that's why they've had to go to epigenetics. And it's to do with like studies like the ones with the twins, and the twins get one is gay, one is straight, and they did like study of like 30 or 40 of them, and they had to create epigenetics because of that. Epigenetics is like, apparently during your environment affects you. Now I know for whatever reason my children were born with their mentality, like their a very, very strong attitude. Attitude that's theirs. I call that their flavor, you know. And I just realized Joey Diaz, he's called Mad Flavor. He called himself Mad Flavor. He's so fucking, he's out there, man. Head of the game. Anyway, yeah. Epigenetics in this scientific world. Oh man, I'm like simplifying this heaps. They're gonna get pissed at me. You know, like all scientists, they get all uptight if you don't say it exactly right, or you're just plain wrong. But it goes a little something like this. I'll just give you the gist. Don't, you know, go with the flow. Don't get too carried away. All you atheists, you materialism atheist fellas. Epigenetics is like a way to describe environment affecting your life. You know? Like, I'm just trying to point out the holes in genetics, like the old genetics, and how it is changing, and it's heading towards this. The mystery. And what I'm really saying is, like, one day they're gonna find it all, yeah, and then they're gonna bi-directionally affect it all. Like, you'll find this epigenetics, you'll find the exact how the human works because of that signal, you know, in the DNA, that epigenetic frequency that's going on. You're gonna pick all that up, all those bitones, you know, get to right down to the last fractal or near to, and you're gonna be like super knowledgeable about how a human works, apparently. But see, that's just, you're looking at the material to describe something quite mystical, because you've got this certain amount of technology available to you. You can't, and you know, we may be years off finding this stuff at this point in time in 2017. We might be years away from discovering. We might need artificial intelligence to improve, or new tools to make it happen, you know? That we get to that point where we know everything materialistically, and it affects the human, yeah. But listen to what they're saying. Like the environment is affecting the human, spinning it around, running it around, doing whatever. They do have a really solid point, but there are those of us that want to go the mystic route, you know, and we want to say things like, well, get back to the mushroom. You cut the mushroom off, it grows back, even though it has no cell. Now the genes are in the cell; they produce the protein, and it's quite, and this is one of the proofs. There's a couple of many, but the genes, all they're good for really is making protein, and that's why they've had to make epigenetic data, because they went and solved all of the genome. They mapped the genome, but it didn't really give us anything. It only gave us a few, like, heretical diseases, I think it is, that it's really good at. It's got a few really good things it's good at, but it didn't solve every problem to do with biology or humans. They still can't predict your height any better than someone who measures your finger. Actually, a lot worse. And I'm paraphrasing Sheldrake. Watch Sheldrake on Joe Rogan Experience. So you got that. So you got me. Hang on, I gotta check something. Yeah, we're good. We're going fine. So what happened was that they needed to create a field where they called it the morphogenetic field, where this mushroom was reading from that field to create its own form, because it was not the DNA or anything that they could measure that was creating its new form as an asexual being without a nucleus. Obviously, the mushroom died soon later because it couldn't produce this is straight from Sheldrake's talk. I'll try and copy it in the links. Couldn't put it in so you got some like more reference material. Listen to a legend talk about it. But we got this basically. What we're talking about is the introduction of a field that governs who we are physically, and Sheldrake has gone on to make it a consciousness, an approach to consciousness, and I think he did, or Terence McKenna did, put spins on it, put some awesome spin on it, where you basically, I'm coming up to toll, I'm gonna have to have a little break. But you basically, an electromagnetic antenna with a signal, like a DNA is maybe your frequency. DNA is made up of all your experience, etc., etc. So the DNA acting on this this electrical network reads and writes to a certain point and location on a like a hive consciousness. Hang on. Hello. Gracias. And you so you got this, we call it like the hive consciousness. I like that idea. I've seen it. It's something I've seen. But you go and you write to this consciousness based on your DNA that's acting through your central nervous system, which is your brain and whatever. Like, modern science wants to tell you that your brain and everything is where it is all at, and that you are isolated inside your brain, blah 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 blah, and it's all electrical, biological, and then it matches their whole philosophy of the universe expanding. We're all going into nothing, and just enjoy this moment, which is a good idea, to enjoy this moment, etc., etc. But they don't really have any. Well, we'll get into the electric universe later. I'm just discussing with you. I can't really even. This is really terrible, man. I can't even quote this stuff word for word. But I'm just giving you an informational background because I got a feel for a way, reduce my suffering and unlearn science and that I was indoctrinated in. I'm not saying science is a bad thing. It's actually a really good thing, and it pushes us forward. I just want to push forward on a inside a different realm of science, not this materialism realm, but rather embrace the practicality of the new realm that's enveloping us. Now that we are not just apes, but apes that are stoned, no, not stoned, but we're psychedelic now, and we got pasts and futures, and we're traveling through this time and space and blah blah blah. So I'm just presenting to you today the idea of the morphogenetic field, and you work with it, you deal with it yourself and come to your own conclusion. You know, whether you think it's absolute crap and you're just gonna be a materialist who doesn't believe in like this whole polar concept. Because I'm like beating down on you on my idea of the balance, you know. Because I'm trying to say there's a balance. I'm trying to get someone to disprove me. There's probably a lot of people that could articulate the disproving or busting of my idea. We'll get there eventually. So get back to the morphogenetic field. You're an organism, and most organisms will be the same. We're an organism. We have a hive mind, a human cooperative intelligence, written on a field. I don't know. It might be a structure. A lot of people call it archetypes. You know, like Plato, I think, called it an archetype. There are certain archetypes, and we work around those. I mean, I've read a lot of Steiner, or not a lot, but I've read a bit, and he gets right into a hierarchical structure of consciousness and where we're going in the next life, and all this angels and demons, and you know, a lot of that sort of religious stuff has a lot to do with possibly with the structures that may exist in this idea sphere. I forget what Terence called it. Maybe you can comment below. He called it like the idea something, space or scape, ideascape, mindscape. And in this play, you know, like, what is a remote viewer? I mean, we know the FBI is using them. There's even TV shows about it, and they're taking it quite seriously. These people can tap into these structures, read them, go beyond their own reading and writing to the structure, to someone else's reading and writing of the structure. In other words, maybe they're like DNA shifters, or they're cerebral, or I said it just before, their electrical system, their antenna, they can alter it. And it might be through their DNA, or it might be through their actual physiology, and yoga has a lot to do with that. You position your body in certain motions, and you guide chi energy through it. This is what they talk about, you know. And just in my life, I've just noticed so much how strong and powerful the mind is. And if you haven't yet, I would recommend you get into Abraham. And just test out if you're powerful right now. Like, see if you can. You might not be like me. I'm like fully indoctrinated, scientific mind, crazy person, and I gotta like unlearn everything and then apply reply Abraham, because Abraham is like really simple for me, and it doesn't answer all my dudas, my questions, my doubts. So I gotta be like finding my own path, and this is my path with you, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not just abandoning stuff left, right, and center. I'm practicing, experimenting every day, positivity, changing my mindscape, coming out of like a deep suffering I was committed to, because I didn't know anything about what was going on, you know. Maybe you don't know. But definitely start with a bit of Abraham and have an open mind, and you might bring yourself that desire, you know, that thing you need or want, or much quicker to your life, rather than having to suffer and work hours and all this sort of stuff. And you know, you might be able to drop that whole strive to succeed stuff. You might be able to, depending on your flavor, some people it just comes to them, they just start attracting a beautiful life to themselves immediately. You know, and like talking to you about this right now makes me feel really buzzed up, makes me feel good. I think we could, there's a lot of an advantage to a certain number of people, like 1 or 2% of the population. They just grab Abraham and run, man, and they get the woman or man of their dreams, the house of their dreams, or maybe they become like a super entrepreneur, I don't know, what do you call it, philanthropist, which is their dream, which is my dream. Yeah, so think about that. And I'm gonna make a part 2 of this in just a second. So you just have to wait. I'm just gonna have a little break. But get into it. Thank you for listening to number 4, and get into number 5 that I'll record like the same day today. And we'll just keep going with this. We've got to finish this today. Got to finish adding this mix to this today. Yeah, peace out.